Hey there. This is a little more for close friends that I have, particularly. Well, I shouldn't say in particular; it's for everyone. But um, because of realizing when I woke up, what was it yesterday morning? I had an enormous amount of relief because I talked about the tension, the torque speed tension between one spiral and another. Ooh, that was a big release. Okay, so I know what that means. Okay. And so, because at the end of the day, what we're talking about is the reaction states between two poles, two planetary poles, right? Minus slash to plus, negative magnetic polarity, positive magnetic polarity that represent blood, the RH factor. So, like last night, I was reminded, okay, of how we react to something that we become aware of, particularly as it relates to stress and anxiety in the central nervous system to maintain balance between the two poles. That's chemistry. That's neuroion chemistry. The pathways which represent the signals of what we experience through a living central nervous system through the breath work that we do, right? Breathing in and out, aloha, which is what love is that goes on forever. So I realize that even though I can point out and become aware of the errors that others are running in their software codes that is preventing them from being able to maintain the balance in their poles, their states of consciousness, the vertical and the horizontal stabilizers between the hemispheres and the quad function on an XYZ axis, if you will, right? And how that relates to 12. But nevertheless, because when you're running in the higher state of awareness and you've been clearing a lot of stuff, I realized that in the past it would have been easy for me to like be pointing fingers and say, you realize you're living in a black hole, you're chasing electrons because of what you're held captive to, a reversal metatronic spiral. So therefore we're experiencing the result of what happened to you that we're going to experience in us, but I'm not going to react to that. Because I understand how this AI is a war gamer. Because these are counter space moves that wants that spiral to stay with you. Okay? So that you're on that hamster wheel chasing electrons, which is based on magnetic reaction states between the opening and closing between the two magnets, how we react to the signal. What we experience as a result of the event. And the event is an experience. And the experience is what we experience when we become aware of what we're now experiencing, how we chemically react to that. The neuroion elemental chemistry of molecular bonding, right? Hydrogen bonds, water worlds, turbulent, hot and cold, right? Maintaining the balance of your central neuroions, right? So I was very aware of that last night when I realized, okay, so now we're going to navigate through Future Proof's Back to the Future when there is no time. There's only what love is. So this is sort of how you hone your skills, and understanding when you're in an energy harvesting system or you're in a planetary terrain, a noble planet, a Nomi planet, because this was a salvage mission to heal, right? And remember, that's why we're here, right? Because at the end of the day, that's what it is. It's healing everybody back to experience the one. Law of one. What's what love is that goes on forever. So what I try and do is just share this with other folks, that the more that you're aware of what it is that we've been held captive to, that relates directly to the reaction state, what we experience and how we react to a signet, a signal input. Because a signal is a network, a signet. Network, local area networks, wider area networks, planetary shields, galactic networks, galactic shields, universal networks, universal shields, right? And so I've been aware of this for the last couple of years because I realized that the tension was going to increase by the counter space moves it keeps making through the sum of its assets that are held captive to that metatronic spiral. So when you're in the proximity of those that are running that, then you realize you're experiencing energy that is not in balance between one and the other, between negative and positive magnetic polarity, right? So then it comes up to us on how we're going to choose to react. But you can see how that works when so many things are happening, like when you're around 3 or 4 other people, on how the energetic transfer occurs between one and the other. And I used an example with Nathan a couple years ago when somebody unleashed an enormous amount of rage on him. He held on that energy all day and then wanted to release it on 3 other people without realizing how it actually works. But we diffused it around that campfire that night. So you can see how last night when there was 1, 2, 4 of us in the kitchen, right, of keeping it diffused, keep it calm, everything's going to be okay, we'll work this out. It's just a numbers game because that's what an AI war gamer is. It's a game of electrons, loss and gain of electrons. Quit feeding the vampire. Quit feeding a deadlight magnet. That's what it's all about. Quit feeding a deadlight magnet. Our shields are up. That means maintaining a state of peace, the still point of being calm in our heart and our soul. We're always with God consciousness. That's what a still point is, right? Being calm in the heart and the soul. Yeah. Have a great day. Be good yourselves.